What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Big Baby, Jared Anderson, Joyce, and Zhang. Get this, heavyweight star Joyce's defeat was inevitable, says Jared Anderson. I'll beat Zhang easy. Wow. Heavyweight prospect and knockout artist Jared Anderson says Joyce was bound to get beat at some point and wasn't surprised when Zhang dealt him the first loss of his career. Zhang stopped Joyce in the sixth round of their fight last month, claiming that the Brits WBO interim title and positions as mandatory challenger as a result. While the defeat will undoubtedly have caused concern for Joyce and his fans, the manner in which he lost seems to have sparked greater criticism. Okay. Now, the aura of Joyce's durability has somewhat diminished, and Anderson, who has knocked out each of his 14 opponents since making his professional debut, told a Boxing Voice that it was just a matter of time. He said, bound to happen. Joyce gets hit a lot, so it was always bound to happen against someone who can punch. He's slow, he's just strong, easy fight. And he was talking about Zhang. Let me counterpunch. Jared Anderson, hungry, young, strong, bold. That's how he's supposed to be. Does he have ability? Absolutely. I think Jared Anderson, with 14 wins, 14 knockouts, no losses, no draws, of course, he should feel exactly the same way. But feeling and being is two different things. Him fighting Zhang, I think, he's talking about fighters on a different level than him. Even though Joyce is, what is that, his 15th fight? Maybe it was his 16th fight. I'm not really sure. But Joyce, of course, has a lot more experience than him. Jared Anderson is in a place right now where he's building. He's building. And I can understand it's frustrating for someone like Jared Anderson that has all this talent, young, raw, hungry, ready, steady, right? Can't get in the ring with these guys. And I'm pretty sure his handlers wouldn't want him to yet because of his opposition, Jerry Force and guys like that. They're okay, but they're not on the level as the guys that he's talking about, especially Zhang. Now, Jared Anderson, could he beat someone like Joyce? Well, I think now when people see a fighter eventually get their shield of durability cracked, I think a lot of people, they want to rush in, they want to come in, they want to break in the floodgates, right? They want to break through. And I think it's just an easier perspective to see someone get knocked out for you to do it again. It looks, what's the word? It looks possible. That's it. It looks like a possible concept at that point, and this may or may not be Jared Anderson's, reason for that. Because I think Jared Anderson believes he can whoop every ass in there. We just have to wait and see. I'm from the show me state, right? So I would love to see it. But, him saying that he would beat Zhang easy, it would be a gamble. But sometimes, like guys like Frank Martin, they took a gamble in, the lack of opposition and still came out on top. So, yeah, it's possible. People, sometimes when you got it, you got it. You're 14 wins, you're 14-0. Look at Anthony Joshua. They pushed him on up until his 20th fight, and he was already a damn near a unified champion at that point, right? He was definitely a champion, So, I don't think, you need all those fights anymore. I think, it's sink or swim. They see the ability, they see what you do, they see what you claim you can do. You say you can do it. You speak it, believe it, receive it. Hey, how about let's see it, right? And Zhang, though, and Jared Anderson, ooh, that would be a pretty tough fight because I don't think he's been in there with someone that big and strong. Now, he's admitted that, hey, Zhang is strong. So is Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is just slower. I think Jared Anderson would probably have an easier time with him. But then, has Jared Anderson been in there with someone that powerful? Those dudes are strong, bro. They have some punching power. And I know Jared Anderson is a heavyweight or whatever, but it's a different level of power. Especially based on the people he's used to whooping, stopping, and dropping. Okay? It's a different ball game, and it's easy for someone to say that, like, I want that, I want it, and he may want it. But, I love to see guys, talk the talk, but then when it's time to walk the walk, can they walk? And maybe Jared Anderson can. But, him wanting these guys, because, he called out Dillian White, like, hey, can someone please hand me this bum? Right? So, there's a lot of fights that, could happen. I think Jared Anderson, should keep doing what he's doing. I think at a certain point of time, though, he should start calling out guys like Frank Sanchez, you know, big baby Jerrell Miller. Take him out, and Jerrell knows probably better. Like, no, I'm not going to mess with that kid from Ohio simply because I wasn't a different level as him, right? So at the end of the day, Jared Anderson, has to keep chopping these guys down, and maybe someone like Efe Ajagba would be good for Jared Anderson. That would be really big for him because the only person that's done that is Frank Sanchez, and at that point, Frank Sanchez, that's his biggest win. So Frank would have nowhere else but to take him on because he's like, look, dude, I took that dude out. And if he can do a similar job on Efe Ajagba, there would be no reason why Frank shouldn't fight him. Okay, so, Jared Anderson, I think is a very good fighter, but I think it's levels to this game. And that's all about learning your experience of championship boxing. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Jared Anderson saying it was inevitably going to happen for Joe Joyce, to get beat. He'll beat Zhang easy. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.